The 1950s, the Cold War cast a long shadow. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a struggle. This was an ideological war, a battle for the hearts and minds of the world. Both superpowers possessed nuclear weapons. The threat of annihilation hung heavy in the air. The Soviets launched Sputnik, the first satellite, into orbit. America felt a collective anxiety. This wasn't just about space. It was about technological superiority. The answer, some thought, lay in a daring plan. Why not nuke the moon? It seemed unthinkable, impossible. Yet, in the depths of the Cold War, it was a proposition taken seriously. The project was shrouded in secrecy. It was given an innocuous name, a study of lunar research flights, better known as Project A119. The goal? Detonate a nuclear weapon on the lunar surface. The motivations were complex and multi-layered. On the surface, it was about scientific exploration. Or so they claimed. But the truth ran deeper. A mushroom cloud, visible from Earth. A stark reminder of American might. The year was 1957. The Soviets had just launched Sputnik. It was a watershed moment in the Cold War. The world looked to the skies, and there it was. A Soviet satellite boldly orbiting the Earth. Panic gripped the United States. This wasn't just about a satellite, it was about capabilities. The Soviets had demonstrated technological prowess that threatened to upset the balance of power. The Cold War was a battle for global dominance, but it wasn't fought on traditional battlefields. Sputnik was a blow to American pride, yes, but more importantly, it was a stark demonstration of Soviet capabilities. The answer, they believed, lay in a bold, even outlandish idea to detonate a nuclear weapon on the moon. The idea, as outlandish as it seems today, was born in the minds of men driven by the pressures of the Cold War. The project, officially titled A Study of Lunar Research Flights, but later known as Project A119, began to take shape. The Air Force approached a group of scientists at the Armor Research Foundation, tasking them with a chillingly simple question. Could a nuclear bomb be detonated on the moon? And if so, what would it look like? The goals of A119 were multifaceted. The true goal of Project A119 was a demonstration of power. It was a message to the Soviet Union, and indeed to the entire world. Look at what we can do. A nuclear explosion on the lunar surface would be visible from Earth. A terrifying, awe-inspiring spectacle that would leave no doubt about American might. This was power projection on a cosmic scale. It was a way to instill fear, to remind the Soviets and the rest of the world that the United States possessed the capability to obliterate. The very audacity of the plan was part of its appeal. Proponents of Project A119 argued that the detonation wasn't merely about brute force. They claimed a scientific impetus lay at the heart of the endeavor. The moon at that time was still a largely mysterious celestial body. Detonating a nuclear device on its surface, they argued, could provide invaluable data about its composition. The blast, they theorized, would eject lunar material into space, which could then be analyzed. This, they believed, would provide insights into the moon's formation and geological history. The data gathered, they argued, could be crucial to understanding the universe around us. plan, as it evolved, involved selecting a specific target on the lunar surface. This target, ideally near the terminator, the line between lunar day and night, would ensure maximum visibility of the explosion from Earth. The choice of weapon was also a critical consideration, with the W-25 warhead, a relatively small, lightweight thermonuclear device, emerging as a potential candidate. Delivering the payload to the moon presented another challenge. The scientists and engineers involved in A119 had to devise a reliable method for not only reaching the moon, but also ensuring the warhead detonated at the precise moment and location for optimal visibility from Earth. The scientists involved in Project A119 produced detailed reports outlining the potential impact of the detonation. They envisioned a blinding flash, a mushroom cloud rising from the lunar surface, visible to the naked eye from Earth. The blast would excavate a crater of considerable size, scattering lunar debris across a vast area. The visual spectacle, they calculated, would be awe-inspiring, a terrifying display of power designed to leave no doubt about American capabilities. The mushroom cloud, a symbol of unimaginable destructive power, would be permanently etched onto the face of the moon. The architects of Project A119 were a diverse group bound by the tumultuous context of their time. At the helm was Dr. Edward Teller, often referred to as the father of the hydrogen bomb. Teller saw A119 as a logical step in the Cold War arms race, a demonstration of American technological prowess that would leave no doubt about their dominance in the field of nuclear weaponry. He believed that the psychological impact of a nuclear explosion on the moon would far outweigh any scientific benefits. Working alongside Teller was a team of physicists, engineers, and mathematicians, each bringing their expertise to this audacious endeavor. Their work, shrouded in secrecy, pushed the boundaries of scientific knowledge and engineering ingenuity. One of the key figures in Project A119 was a young physicist named Leonard Reiffel, tasked with leading the research team at the Armor Research Foundation. Reiffel found himself wrestling with the ethical implications of the project. Reiffel understood the political climate. Fear gripped the nation, and the desire to assert American dominance. However, he couldn't shake the feeling that detonating a nuclear weapon on the moon was a step too far, a dangerous act with unforeseen consequences. Despite his reservations, Reiffel remained committed to the scientific integrity of the project. A young Carl Sagan, then a rising star in the world of astronomy, was among the scientists recruited to work on Project A119. Tasked with modeling the expansion of a dust cloud from a hypothetical lunar explosion, Sagan found himself grappling with the profound implications of the project. Sagan, even at that early stage in his career, possessed a deep appreciation for the fragility of life and the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. Despite his personal reservations, Sagan, like Reiffel, remained committed to the scientific rigor of the project. Little did he know that this experience would profoundly influence his later work, fueling his passion for science education and his unwavering advocacy for peace and the preservation of our planet. The year is 1959. The world is still reeling from the launch of Sputnik. The space race is in full swing, and the very idea of landing a man on the moon, let alone nuking it, seems like something out of science fiction. Yet, in the secluded halls of power, Project A119 is rapidly taking shape. But amidst the feverish calculations and strategic planning, one crucial voice is missing: the voice of the public. The ethical implications of detonating a nuclear weapon on the moon, of forever altering the face of our celestial neighbor, are debated not in public forums, but in hushed tones behind closed doors. The ethical debate that should have raged had the public been privy to the plans for A119 would have been fierce and multifaceted. At its core lay a fundamental question: do we, as humans, have the right to impose our will, our conflicts, on celestial bodies beyond our own? Is space merely another frontier to be conquered and exploited? Or does it hold a sanctity that transcends our earthly disputes? To defile it with a nuclear explosion, they would have argued, would be an act of cosmic vandalism, a violation of the very sanctity of space. Beyond the immediate impact of a nuclear detonation on the moon lay many potential long-term consequences. The scientific community was aware of the potential for unforeseen and catastrophic consequences. Radioactive contamination was a pressing concern. A nuclear explosion could release radioactive particles, posing hazards to future missions. The explosion could alter the lunar surface, affecting its properties and balance. These changes could impact our understanding of the moon's history. The unpredictability of A119 was unsettling. Detonating a nuclear weapon on the moon was a grand and terrifying experiment. The risks far outweighed any perceived benefits. As the technical challenges of Project A119 became clearer, a subtle but significant shift began to occur within the American psyche. The initial panic that followed Sputnik's launch, the sense of urgency to assert American dominance in the space race, gradually gave way to a more measured, even introspective outlook. The public, though largely unaware of the specifics of A119, became increasingly captivated by the space race. Images of rockets soaring into the sky, of astronauts bravely venturing into the unknown, captured the imagination and fueled a sense of wonder that transcended the Cold War rivalry. Within the scientific community, too, dissenting voices began to grow louder. The ethical implications of detonating a nuclear weapon on the moon, of polluting the pristine vacuum of space with radioactive fallout, weighed heavily on the minds of those involved. Perhaps most crucially, the political winds began to shift. The Eisenhower administration, initially supportive of A119, grew increasingly wary of the project's potential ramifications. The risks, both scientific and political, were deemed too great. Project A119 was quietly shelved, a chilling reminder of a time when fear and ambition pushed humanity to the brink. The moon was spared the fate of becoming a billboard for Cold War anxieties. Yet the legacy of A119 lingers, a cautionary tale about unchecked ambition. It reminds us of the power and peril of human ingenuity. The story of Project A119 compels us to choose wisely the path we take into the future. Project A119, though abandoned, stands as a chilling monument to Cold War anxieties. Imagine a mushroom cloud on the moon, a haunting reminder of our capacity for destruction. What kind of species are we? Can we transcend our baser instincts? Project A119 serves as a valuable lesson. We are all interconnected, inhabitants of a fragile planet. Our shared humanity comes into sharp focus. We must recognize the dangers of unchecked ambition, the importance of ethical considerations, and the need for international cooperation. The moon, silent and serene, still beckons. It reminds us the universe is not ours to conquer, but a grand tapestry of wonder. Let us strive to be worthy of that privilege as guardians of our pale blue dot.